This is Emma. She is a young woman who has been living in a big city for a few years. Despite being in an English-speaking environment, Emma struggles to speak English confidently. She feels shy when she has to use the language. But today, Emma is determined to change that. Her plan is simple. She will start speaking more every day. Emma begins by listening to English podcasts while doing simple tasks around the house. It's only for 10 minutes, but this small habit begins to build her confidence. The next day, Emma goes to the supermarket. She knows the words for most items, but when she sees the cashier, she feels a bit nervous. She takes a deep breath and asks, "Where can I find the bread?" The cashier smiles and gives directions. Emma feels a small victory. It was just a simple question, but it's a huge step for her. She tries to shadow the phrases she hears in the store, repeating them quietly under her breath. By the end of the week, Emma feels more confident. She decides to take the next step and talk to someone in English. One afternoon, she meets a tourist at the park. "Hi, where are you from?" she asks, smiling. "I'm from London," the tourist replies. Emma feels proud. She has just had her first real conversation in English, and it went smoothly. Even though she was nervous at first, she was able to express herself clearly. Her confidence is growing, and she begins to realize that English is no longer something she only studies. It's becoming part of her life. By now, Emma has made English a part of her daily life. Every morning, she wakes up and says, "It's a beautiful day today." She listens to English music while she works, reads short English books in the evening, and even starts thinking in English as she walks around the city. Emma feels like she's finally started to live in English, not just study it. She smiles, thinking to herself, "I'm getting better every day." After a few months, Emma is amazed by how much her English has improved. She's able to hold longer conversations with strangers, participate in group discussions, and even understand English movies without subtitles. She feels comfortable using English in everyday situations. One evening, while walking home, she realizes how far she's come. She no longer feels nervous when speaking in English. It has become a natural part of her life. She wakes up one sunny morning, and as usual, she repeats her affirmation to herself. It's going to be a good day. She prepares breakfast, humming along to the English podcast playing in the background. This simple routine has become her second nature. After a couple of months of daily practice, English no longer feels like something she has to work on. It's just part of the rhythm of her day. Emma has transformed her mindset. Every time she walks down the street or interacts with others, her English feels smoother, more natural. One day, she's chatting with a new colleague at work, practicing her vocabulary and conversational skills. "I'm so glad we're finally working together on this project," Emma says, feeling confident as she shares her ideas in English. Her colleague smiles, impressed by how much she's improved. Emma realizes that she no longer hesitates before speaking. The words just flow, and her accent has become clearer as well. The once terrifying thought of speaking in English in front of others now feels empowering. Her next challenge comes when a friend invites her to an English-speaking book club. She hesitates for just a moment, but quickly decides to go. The idea of discussing a book in English excites her. At the book club, she listens carefully as others share their thoughts. She picks up new vocabulary and ideas, mentally noting phrases and expressions she wants to use in her own discussion. When it's her turn to speak, she shares her opinion, choosing her words carefully. "I think the main character was very relatable," she says, and to her surprise, everyone listens attentively, nodding in agreement. Emma has come a long way from that shy woman who struggled to ask for bread in the supermarket. Now she holds her own in conversations, reads English books with ease, and listens to podcasts without constantly reaching for a dictionary. But she knows that the journey is far from over. She's always looking for new ways to practice and improve. One weekend, Emma decides to try something a bit more challenging. She finds a local group of English speakers who meet for informal discussions on weekends. This time, the conversation is about politics, a topic she's passionate about but hasn't yet tackled in English. She prepares by reading articles and writing down useful phrases. When the group starts discussing recent events, she joins in confidently, sharing her opinion. She feels proud of herself for contributing to such an important conversation in English. It's a moment she'll never forget. As the months pass, Emma's vocabulary continues to grow. She no longer feels limited by the words she knows. Every day, she learns new expressions, phrasal verbs, and idioms. She writes them down in her journal and uses them whenever possible. Language is living, she reminds herself. I need to use it to keep it alive. Emma also starts helping others with their English. She becomes a mentor to a new colleague who struggles with speaking. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, Emma says to her. I used to be just like you. She recalls her first days, how every conversation felt like a mountain to climb. She assures her colleague that progress comes with time and effort, just as it did for her. One evening, Emma watches an English documentary without subtitles, reflecting on how much her listening comprehension has improved. She smiles as she understands almost everything. Her English feels effortless now, and it continues to get better with each passing day. She finds herself setting new goals. Now that her speaking skills are strong, Emma wants to improve her writing. She begins journaling more seriously in English, noting down her thoughts, feelings, and reflections. Each entry is a new challenge, but also an opportunity to test her growing knowledge. Sometimes she even writes short stories, experimenting with new sentence structures and vocabulary. Writing, she finds, is a way for her to express herself more deeply in English, to discover parts of her personality that she didn't know existed. Emma's story is proof that learning English doesn't have to be a long, difficult journey. It's about small, consistent steps. Listening every day, speaking when possible, and making English a part of life. Over time, these steps add up. It's the little habits, like repeating phrases, writing down new words, or thinking in English, that lead to big changes. Emma smiles as she looks at her journal, full of English sentences, new words, and reflections. I'm proud of how far I've come, she thinks. But I know this is just the beginning. There's always more to learn, and I'm ready for it. In the end, Emma's journey shows that language is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about confidence, consistency, and finding joy in the learning process. For Emma, English is no longer a subject to study. It's a tool that helps her connect with the world, share her thoughts, and explore new opportunities. And she knows that with every word she speaks, writes, or thinks, she is one step closer to fluency.